Hey friends, happy Wednesday. It is hump day. We have made it. Wahoo! We are halfway through the work and halfway to the weekend. That is exciting. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Chalk Couture. Once you hop on tonight's live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and tell me where you are watching from. We are in central Kansas, and we are waiting on Snowmageddon, which I think most of the country is as well. So hopefully your weekend won't be crazy snowy, but it will probably be cold. So we'll all snuggle in together. I am live tonight in 2 locations, so if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person is probably watching on a different platform. And as always, if you like this video, if you like what you see and you think others should see it and you just want to help out my channel, please feel free to spread the craft love all over Facebook, YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that heart button. Not only does that help me be seen by new eyeballs, but that also helps you. Hitting the thumbs up or the heart or any of that kind of stuff tells the algorithm that you like this kind of content. Therefore, it will start pushing more of this content into your feed. So I appreciate it, and we can help each other. And as always, tag your crafty friends and invite them to watch along with you. And with that, let's go to the comments. Jason is watching from the other side of the door. And Miss Amanda just hopped on. Welcome. I gotta put some lotion on real quick, peeps, because these hands be dry. Sorry about that. Okay. How is everyone doing this evening? I have been making this week, so my hands have been in a lot of water, and they're getting kind of dry. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and flip the camera around, and I'm going to show you a few new things real quick. Jason says he's doing great. Woohoo! We had a yummy dinner. We made crock pot cranberry turkey breast with the yummiest gravy and mashed potatoes. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what you ate for dinner down in the comments. Hello, Miss Bonita. Welcome, welcome. I was going to show you some new things real quick. I got 2 orders in. This is the size D, and it's called the bold font. So it's an 18 by 24. And I was going to measure. Most of the letters are 1.5 inches wide by about 3.5 inches tall. Each square is about 4 3/8 and 3 5/16. Look at me doing fractions. So this is the bold font, super fun. You can do lots of cute little signs with that. And then if you're watching the scrolling section here, you'll see that there is a creative kickstart. So you can purchase part of the partial creative kickstart bundle outright. And it includes this cute little cozy pup transfer with his cute little sweater. Oh no, Amanda says that all their kids are sick. Oh no. Well, I hope you all stay, get to feeling better and then stay healthy after that. That's a bummer. Let us know if we can do anything for you. We would be more than happy to swing by some food or some tissues or some medication or some soup. Just let us know. So this is the Cozy Pup. And if you buy the Creative Kickstart bundle outright, it comes with the pup transfer. It comes with a 17 pack of embroidery floss. And then it comes with a punch needle. So I'm going to be doing this weekend, and I'm going to punch needle his sweater. If you get the Kickstart bundle, which is now right there, if you can get the Kickstart bundle free with a $100 purchase. So it comes with the 3 things you see here, plus an everyday tote. It's either the everyday tote or the market tote, and an espresso brown ink paste single. And then there's also in my Chalk site, Chalk Shop, there's also an embroidery hoop that you can add on as part of your purchase. So this is the Creative Kickstart bundle. Super cute. Can't wait to see the little doggy done. And then these were just some extra transfers that I picked up. Expensive and Difficult, which I love that one. The Homebody Club, which will make a cute little t-shirt, sweatshirt, hoodie. And then I got the Rustic Cross. So we have quite a few faith and inspiration religious transfers, so go check those out. I also noticed in one of my customers' order, you know who you are, that the word game tile transfer was back. Word game font was back in stock. So if you wanted, when I did the project last week, it was out of stock. So if you wanted that, you might go to my Chalk site and pick that up. There's also some other transfers that were out of stock that are now back in stock. And then also keep checking the scrolling slides to our right, because there is a Peanuts launch tomorrow and it is super cute. So I'll be posting that later on my biz page and probably in my story. So make sure you check all of that out. Okie doke. Whew. We are going to be doing an upcycled clipboard. So I went ahead. I have painted the back. Look at me being prepared. I have painted the back already. I color blocked the front. And we're going to be using this B-sized Stay Wild Encore transfer. I think this may be in last chance. It's probably already sold out, but we're going to use it anyway. But last I checked, it was still available. So you'll notice it's a little too wide this way. But I'm still going to chalk the flowers down here, and then I'm going to break the text apart. And so I'm going to put Stay Wild, and then I'm going to put some of the flowers. Hopefully, I might just do a corner over here in the corner. That's probably what I'll do. So I'll just chalk a few of the flowers on the front, and then I'm going to do it all, I believe, in black or ash. I can't decide. And then we're going to color it in with some markers. So I'm going to bust out some new markers. These are some Artistro dual tip markers. And I did not put the link in the description because I have not used them yet. So I want to make sure that they are decent and they work well with the paste and they work how I want them to before I share the link with you. But that's what we're going to do. So we're going to color in some of the flower details after we get our paste dried up. So let me pop these in there real quick. Easier said than done. Okay, no, let's get started. Put these down on the floor. So I have painted already, but I'm going to pop these underneath here, just so that gives me something flat to work on. We're going to get some wax out because I do want to protect my painted surface. So you can use, which I just, dropped on the floor. I need to get a clear-ish silicone mat. I have this big line right here and a hump, and and this glass mat, I love it, but it makes a lot of noise. So anyway, sorry, squirrel. You can use the surface wax that you can find in my chalk site, and the wax applicators. But I do prefer this Minwax paste. I've had this Minwax paste since I started with chalk in 2018, and it is still soft. It is still very usable. Most of my other chalk couture surface waxes have gotten really hard and they're hard to use. And I just really like the way this works. But you can certainly get the chalk. And you know what? I forgot to put a cart link in. I'll put a cart link in the comments when we are finished. But you can find most of what I'm using tonight as far as transfer paste and accessories in my chalk site. So I have my wax on here. And I'm just going to put, that's not going to work, not for right now, a small amount on my clipboard. This might work a little better for right now. I'm just going to rub it into my clipboard. This is going to protect my painted surface. It's actually going to seal my paint in a little bit because it is a sealer. And it's going to keep my transfer from sticking so hard to my painted surface that it might stretch or warp my transfer. So now you can see I have a really nice waxy sheen on the back of my clipboard. I'm going to get a tiny bit for the front. We're going to do the same thing. When Amanda says she thinks they're on the uphill slide, well, that's good to hear. Don't hesitate to let us know. Although I don't know if we'll trudge through 8 inches of snow on Saturday to do anything. So if you need something, call before Saturday. I'm going to get my other fuzz towel out because I think that'll work better than these will. Okay, so now I need to decide if I want to use ash, gray, or black. Okay, so because this is a reusable transfer, you know, we need to put the name of it on the back side. I don't think that's going to work. So I'm going to put Stay Wild Encore. And I'm doing this because since this is reusable, I'm going to need to wash it and dry it and then put it back on the carrier sheet. So I need to know that this is the back side and then it goes on this side. So I'm also going to pull out my fuzz towel, which is just basically a terry cloth towel on one side and a microfiber towel on the other. Because this is a sticky back transfer stencil, it is fairly sticky, but I do want to knock back a little bit of that adhesive just so it doesn't pull up my paint and my transfer doesn't stick and then stretch when I pull it off. I think that's good for now. So let's bring in our clipboard. So I'm going to line the bottom of the design up. I just need to figure out what set of flowers we want. I think I'm going to put this large one just sort of kind of in the middle. And I'm going to kind of trick my mind because I have a tendency to go hog wild and just start pasting everywhere. So this is putting an extra piece of this backer sheet on there is going to kind of tell my mind to stop, slow down a bit, because you don't want to paste there yet. I will eventually, just not right now. So I'm going to use a little bit of placement tape. And just kind of put it down right there. And then I'm going to find another one. We're just going to put that one right there. That's just going to tell my mind to stop so I don't go crazy. Okay. Can't decide. I think we'll just get a big one. It's like my cute new little plate. I just found that at Hobby Lobby. And look at this little guy. It's a little espresso mug. And I just put some little flowers in it. Or little plants. I can't kill that one. So it's going to be my new little dirty paintbrush and squeegee plate. So I have some ash gray chalk paste here. Jason says I'm not crazy. Yep. I'm not crazy. My mother had me tested. I get to going a little too fast when I paste sometimes, and I kind of forget that I need to stop. Okay, so we're just going to take our chalk paste and we're going to cover the silkscreen areas. Oops. I'm wasting a lot. I've got a bunch of excess down here, but okay, I'm going to put the excess back in my jar, and then I'm just going to come back and kind of clean everything up. Let's pull these off gently because they did their duty. And we're just going to gently pull that off. And I'm just going to plop it right down on my backer sheet. We're going to let that dry, but we're also going to dry it with our quick dry tool real quick. After I get this off of my finger. I'll be glad when that grows out because I keep thinking I have black paste all over my fingernail. Benita says, ooh, pretty. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm getting a chance to use this transfer because it's just super cute. So remember, this transfer originally came out, I believe, as a size A. And so then they re-released it as a size B. So if it looks familiar, that's why. So let's get this dry and then we'll add the text. And then we'll see if our markers are going to work. I'm just trying to gauge. I think I've got plenty of room. Okay. So I'm going to make sure that this bottom half is covered with the backer sheet as best as I can. Mostly, sort of, kind of. And then, let's see, easier said than done. So if I put stay, I'm thinking, pop this one under there a little bit. There, I've got most of the paste covered up. So if I put wild right there, so it ends, or that part ends right there. That's not going to help me a bit. I think that'll work. So, okay. I'm going to place wild as best as I can. Just kind of eyeballing it. So I'm actually going to move that piece. Okay, that's going to work. So I'm just eyeballing it. I'm kind of using these two little things right here. And if it's not perfect, it's not perfect, but we're going to get it close. Okay. So we'll just add, I like the way these big ones spread, but they don't fit in the bucket, in the jar very well. And I feel like I get too much. I just prefer these little tiny ones, the little minis. Okay, so got a little bit more paste. I'm going to put my finger over the Y so I don't accidentally paste it. Gotta trick my brain. I'm just evening everything out. Okay, so plop that down right there. Get that good and dry. So I'm supposed to do that vendor event this weekend at the Great Plains Hall at the Tony's Pizza event at the event center. But I'm not. They're saying that they're going to go ahead and keep Friday, but they're not for sure about Saturday. But I'm not for sure about the whole thing because I don't want to be loading and unloading in the snow. So I'll keep you posted whether or not I'm gonna participate. So I'm just kind of comparing the width of stay versus the width of wild. So I know I just need to kind of slide it up this way. And I'm going to kind of get this edge. We're just going to go with that, I think. Looks good to me. Okay. So just kind of keep your eye on my Facebook page, and I will say yay or nay that I am participating. If you had your heart set on some product, I am going to try to start doing some mini live sales where I put maybe some bundles together and some mystery boxes, because this stuff needs to go to somebody who's actually going to use it. I just have a lot of excess that I don't need. And then I'm also going to be at the mall, hopefully in March, at one of their vendor events. Okay, got that part done. Except, yeah, the weather is not going to cooperate. Yeah, I saw somebody post, we're going to get either 1 inch or anywhere from 1 inch to 487 inches. And she's not lying. Okay, so there's our back side. Here's what we have right now. It's fun just like that. We're going to experiment with it We're going to experiment and see what happens. Okay, so if you love, here's an idea, and I'll even let you steal it. If you love Chocolate products, and you don't have to be a designer. Let me preface this: you do not have to be a designer to do this. But if you have noticed, a lot of the trend with the transfers is this outline. Think the Peanuts transfers. Think this kind of transfer. That groovy. Well, it wouldn't work as well, but you've noticed that a lot of the transfers have this. Is it lenticular or is it? Well, we'll just call it an outline. So if you wanted to make a little bit of extra cash, or you just wanted to get your girlfriends or gal pals together, or even your older kiddos, this can be inked or pasted onto those flat canvas panels. If you ink it, you should probably heat set it. And I would probably use ink if you're going to do that. And then once it's heat set, you can get markers, watercolors, paints, and you can color all of this in. Where I was originally going with it is if you wanted to make a little bit of extra cash, you could create DIY paint kits with a lot of these transfers by inking them onto a surface, heat setting it, adding some paints or some markers, and you could sell paint kits and maybe make a little bit of extra cash. And you do not have to be a designer to do that. I will caveat by saying, though, if you want to do that, it would behoove you to become a Perks member so that you can save 30% off on any of the products that you purchase to make said paint kits. So I think I'm just going to put this particular corner down right about there. And I'm just going to do this small portion, if my brain will remember. So we'll just add a little small design on the front. It would also be super cute to get one of the fonts and add like the word notes or a name. If you wanted to give this as a gift, you could paste the person's name with one of the smaller fonts. You could maybe, let's measure when I get this done. Oops, one of my, I must have had a layer of thick paste because this whole line didn't paste. Let's see if I can push that through. Nope, but I think I can fix it. And it's not terribly noticeable. Okay, so we're done with that. Uh-oh. I think I'm going to get out. I have where I had some thick paste from my first generation of screen printing. It didn't go through because it was thick right there. So I'm just going to take this little kind of spatula type, this silicone paintbrush, and we're just going to paint some of that in. No one's going to know, so don't tell them. You can kind of tell, but I won't tell if you don't tell. Okay. Now it's done. Okay. I'm going to go pop this into my little tub and get it sprayed down with some water so it's not so hard to clean later. Be right back. And then remind me to finish my thought on what else we could add there. Okay. So I've already forgotten. We talked about using a small font and either writing the person's name if it's small, or you could put the word notes or to do. But I was going to measure. My color block is 4-ish inches, and so yeah, if you got this bold font, you could put an initial there, and then actually it would be super cute to chalk some of these outline, like if you did this in like a pink or some lighter color, or even, yeah, and then you could chalk some of the flowers on top of the bold font. You could add a rag bow, you could add some buttons, there's all sorts of things, felt flowers. There's all sorts of things you could do. Okay, now let's get this part dry. And it has a film on it right now. I'm going to leave that on there. Whoops. Knocked my little guy over. Okay, now let's get our markers out and see if this is going to work. Okay. So these are dual tipped. They have a brush tip and they have a fine tip. Just put this under here. Now, let's find some greens. Kind of like that color. That color. Okay. So this one is the brush tip. So we'll just see how it works. I almost need a magnifying glass. And if it looks like you're going to cover up a little bit of your gray lines, we can come back in with the fine tip. Do I have a darker gray? It's more of a blue though. Kind of come in with this gray one and kind of re-emphasize your lines a little bit. It's actually a little too light, but so there's the green so far. let's do some of this darker green. We'll do this one over here. I do like the brush tip because it has a very delicate end. I'll do this flower. This would be a perfect activity on a snowy Sunday afternoon, snuggled under a blanket, watching a movie, Netflix, NASCAR, all of the above. I'm going to come in with a little bit of the black, very lightly. Oh, that's too dark. That's too light, but that's okay. That green is pretty. So there's that leaf. Let's do one of the flowers. Let's do a pink. So if you love coloring, this would be right up your alley. You could also use, I'm going to do this little part of a flower right here. You could also probably, although I think these might have too broad of a tip, but these are the chalk markers. Let's get those out and see if you picked these up when they were. They're not as thick as I was thinking that they would be. Okay, maybe let's experiment with the blue. So these you have to prime first before you can use them. So the tip is dry when you get it, so you need to probably shake it. If you've used paint pens of any kind, you have to shake it a little bit, and then you have to prime the tip. Don't do it hard, but you need to, I'm pushing in on that point, and that's going to release the valve that's inside, and it lets the paint come down into the tip from the barrel. So now you can see my tip is starting to turn blue. So you just need to keep doing that until, oh, that's a dark color, until it starts to, so that is how you prime those. So let's do, and it's not, let's compare the tips. So there is the brush tip. I don't know if I can hold these together. So they're not much thicker. So if you already had the chalk markers, you could certainly use those. I just don't know what flower to use or to color. Let's do this. Well, that's going to be too small. Let's do this one. I do think I prefer the brush tip better. And since this is actual paint instead of a marker, it flows. You're gonna have to be careful of your flow. It's a lot thicker as far as viscosity. But it does work. So they do work. I just prefer the brush tip better. And the ink that is in the markers. And it's going to take a little bit longer to dry. That's still pretty. Okay, so let's pull out and the hardest part is just choosing your colors. Okay, let's use yellow. That one's kind of pretty. Let's see, we're at 48 minutes. And I like that I can kind of make wispy strokes with this brush tip. Looks like a daffodil. That one, is that the same as that? I don't know flowers. But you're saying that's a daffodil? This looks like, or is this a daffodil? It kind of looks like a snapdragon or a gladiola. Or is that a gladiola? I don't know. I don't know flowers. Thank you. Let's try the fine tip and see. It works, but I think it's just going to be your preference. I actually probably have a little bit more control with the fine tip. Let's try it over here. Maybe. Let's try the fine tip on that other side. This second one from the corner, so right there. Would you paint it the same color, as this one? Oh, I might like the fine tip better. Wait, what happened? I think my brush got smushed in. Oopsie. My brush tip got smushed in on that one. Maybe it was like that. Anita says maybe a brighter yellow. Let's use the fine tip here. Let's see, so I used that yellow, so let's try this yellow. It's not necessarily brighter. Actually, it looks like the same color. Actually, this one's going to be too bright, I bet. And if you're good at this, you could probably shade a little bit. I'm not. So have any of you ever participated in live sales? I know a lot of people, a lot of crafters are going to Whatnot, but I don't know if that's, I think I should try Facebook or on Facebook first before I go to Whatnot. I don't need one more thing to have to manage. So I'm going to try a little darker green. I like that green. That's pretty. I like that one. I like that green. Okay. If you'd like the link to the markers, just put marker in the comments and I will send that to you. Yeah, for the smaller details, I think I like the fine tip. I just have a little more control. Forgot this one. Okay, what else? What other? Let's do this coral color somewhere. Ooh, that's a pretty color. wonder if you could even use colored pencils for kind of a muted, faded look. Somebody should try that and get back to me. Oh, sorry, I'm missing comments. Benita says she's watched them do live sales on Facebook like Sarah at Booksy and Buttons, but have not purchased anything because you're too slow. I would only do probably like 10 items at a time, and I don't have the number of watchers that Sarah has, so I don't think that would be an issue. I know, oops. I know you don't like purple, but there's a very pretty lilac color in the tray. Which one? This one? Or I did that one, I thought. This one? I do like lilac color. This one? Is this the one you're referring to? Which is funny because lilacs are my favorite flower. But I don't consider that purple. It's more lavender. I don't know if this one's going to be too dark. Okay, we'll do that one. I think that one will be good. Of course, we'll do the big one. Let's see what this color is. I think I like the bolder color better. Of course, we have to do the largest one in some form of turquoise or teal. This is very relaxing. Let me know in the comments, do you like to color? I love to color. I need to do it more. Okay. We'll do this little guy. And maybe we'll do this guy down here. This one's bright. Let's use the fine tip. Let me show you so far. Look at how pretty that is. Just don't judge my coloring skills. I am losing a little bit of the black lines, or the ash, but I'm not terribly worried. And I would definitely seal this. You don't want this coming off. Jason says beautiful. I really like this green color. I think we'll use it some more. Oops, that one didn't go there. That one goes there. So it drives me crazy. I don't know what. This is not color coordinated at all. I don't like that color. I just really love this green color. So a few things left. I think we'll come back. One last color. Look at me grabbing for the purple. Who am I? Nope, can't do it. Plus, this kind of looks more like that flower-ish, so we'll just... Probably should have stuck with purple, but... Pretty! Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, I'm going to make sure it's super dry, and then you need to help me decide if we're going to do the same technique to the front, which I didn't do very many. Bonita says I tried. I just couldn't break out the purple. It's not Halloween. Although, I do see I have some white spots. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. Okay, so now let's flip it over. I think we're just going to go ahead and do it because it's just so pretty. Okay. I really like this color. Are we surprised that this is my favorite one? So let me know in the comments if you would be interested in a kind of a mini live sale. And if you'd be looking for bundles, mystery boxes, that kind of thing. What are you saying? Nope, too, Bonita? You're not interested in a live sale? I didn't use this color on the other side. I forgot what I asked. Oh, you're not. You said nope, that you're not surprised that that was my favorite color marker. I see. Although I really like kind of that army green color. Ooh, that's a bright pink. Couple more, then we'll be done. Although I probably should add some sort of embellishment to the clip, but she's pretty busy. Okay, she's done. There's the front side. Super cute. And then I'll pop probably a junior legal sized notepad. I'm sure I have 50 in here. Oh, I have another idea though. I'm gonna pop these back in so I don't have to play 36 marker pickup later until I figure out what their home is. That doesn't work. Let me go find a legal pad. Oh. Okay, found a cute little legal pad. So I would probably put some cute little scrapbook paper around this section. That looks pretty cute. I mean, you could do a full size, but you're going to cover up this flower. Let's go ahead and take that off. Maybe. And then I need to figure out if I want to do some sort of embellishment, like a little rag bow. Ugh, that sounds terrible. It's like styrofoam rubbing together. Washi tape would work around the around this part. If you're going to use washi tape, I would add some extra adhesive to the back side, because after a while washi tape kind of loses what little sticky it does have. But yeah, washi tape would work. You could probably even, you could maybe get away with painting it. Super cute. You could just do some little charms off of here, which would be cute, or even just like a beaded tassel would be cute. I'll have to think on that. But for right now, that is what we have. We have our cute little clipboard that we colored. I still think these would make some cute coloring, DIY coloring kits. What about the lower left corner? You could do a decorative corner made from clay and paint it to look like metal. Yep. You can do any kind of embellishment you want here. You could do, oops, right here you could do like some felt florals, some of those solo wood flowers, buttons, bottle caps. You could use a clay mold and do some sort of hard embellishment right there. You could even do something on, I used to do things on top of the clipboards. I wonder if I still have any of those somewhere. And where would they be? Let me show you, because I bet I can still find those I've done it before and I have pictures from way back. Let's find those at Hobby Lobby. There's these little decorative wood embellishments that I have attached to the clip. I probably won't be able to find them. It'd probably be easier to find them in my own stash than on the website. The turnings. But yeah, something with a clay mold would be really pretty. I'm at least in the right department. Maybe. I know I probably have them somewhere. Anyway, there are these cute little wood scrolls. They're kind of the little wood appliques that look really cute over the clipboard. And I've done that before. I'll have to find it and see if that would work. But I do think just a cute little bow would be cute up there too. I really like the back. Super fun. Okey-doke. Yay! Got another thing done. Yay us. Don't forget about the Creative Kickstart bundle. This is the bundle that you pay for, but if you want to earn the bundle with a $100 order, you get all 3 of these pieces plus a tote bag and an espresso ink single. So a little extra added value. So what you do with this punch thing is you ink or chalk your image onto fabric usually, and then you use the punch needle and the embroidery together, and it creates kind of a tufted or three-dimensional type of embroidery on this surface. So super cute. Google YouTube punch needle and you'll see what that is. But Bonita says she loves how it turned out. Thank you. Thanks for all your help this evening. And then I will go back and do a cart link in the description, and I'll link the markers. So be watching for that. Watch for my announcement about whether I'm going to participate in the vendor event this weekend. Make sure you're all staying safe and warm. If any of you local peeps get into a pinch and need some help, holler. We'll do our best. If I do the vendor event, then I won't be live probably until Sunday or Monday. If I don't do the vendor event, then I'll try to come live this weekend so that we can hang out. But thanks for watching this evening. Thanks for all your help. Stay safe, stay warm, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.